Hey everybody, super excited to have Don Slaught here. It's funny, I like the way that you spell his last name, right? It's not slot like a slot machine, but
It's pronounced that
way. And instead of me trying to pretend to be able to even go through your extensive history, I'd love for you to give it to us.
All right. So my name is Don Slaught. I went to UCLA. I graduated with a degree in economics. I went there to play baseball. When I got there, I was a fourth string catcher for the UCLA Bruins. My sophomore year, I decided that, hey, I wasn't going to get to play. And I had this grand goal of playing in the major leagues. So, and my tendency is to make decisions based on my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a decision to leave UCLA with honor roll grades to go to a junior college where I'd get to play so I could get better and maybe start the next year. I went to El Camino College, got hurt, had surgery, went back to UCLA as a junior, and for some reason, I was good. I mean, I broke the school record for batting average. I did all these things that finally said, hey, I might have a shot at playing professional baseball. So I signed a professional contract after my junior year in college, or after my senior year in college, and played 16 years in the major leagues. The funny thing about that is I got drafted in the 7th round, and there were 2 catchers drafted ahead of me, the 2nd round and the 5th round. So now, again, I'm kind of third string again. Mm-hmm. Luckily, one of the farm directors had seen me stay after practice and work on throwing, and I was one of the older of the 3 catchers coming out as a senior from college, but a guy got hurt that night. So I never got to play a game, in rookie ball. And the guy got hurt, and so they shipped me to a single A. So in baseball, there's rookie ball, single A, double A, triple A, and then there's the major leagues, the one you see on television. Mm-hmm. And so I got to single A, and this is kind of a funny story too, because I got there, played my very first game. I didn't get any real hits or anything like that, but I threw out the league leading base stealer. And after the game, we're getting ready to get on the bus, and this lady from the other team, they called her Mama Hires. She takes care of all the Atlanta, it was Montreal players. And she came up to me and she handed me a beer and she goes, "You're going to make it to the major leagues." After my very first professional game. 2 years later, I was in the major leagues.
Take it from there. So professional player, right? Mm-hmm. What then?
Well, I played for, like I said, 16 years. I retired in 1997. I went into developing a property for my family. I got back to Texas and I said, well, I got to figure out things to do. My dad was a developer. I wanted to build a home in Arlington, Texas. I went and purchased 2 lots, which gave me 8 acres, and I made it into 2 or 4 2-acre lots. And we were going to kind of build a compound where we had a tennis court and 1 pool. Wow. Everybody had their, 2 acres of land that sloped down to this old Wagon Trail Creek. Mm-hmm. This is from, Fort Worth and mm-hmm. between Fort Worth and Dallas. And basically I got it all done. I got the curb cuts. I got all the things to get this project all done. And my wife says, no, we're moving to California. We're going to, it's where all our family is and our friends are. So we're moving back to California. So I got all this thing done. I put it on the market, sold it in 2 days, moved to California. And my high school coach, literally I moved in on Monday, and my high school coach says, practice starts Wednesday. So my old high school coach is still coaching. So I go out there, never thought I was going to really coach, and fell in love with coaching. I coached with him for 3 years. And that's kind of what got me started into developing products that help coaches communicate better with students and get faster improvement. And that's where the idea for RightViewPro came up.
So before you dive into that one, I'm curious because I really want to zoom into what made you, why did you make that call, right? So you're moving to California. That was what year again?
98.
98, and obviously fast forward coaching. So when did you decide that technology can help you with coaching?
Well, it was really, I thought I had a lot of this information because, in my career, I got better as I got older. So in my first 8 years in the major leagues, I hit 268. In my last 8 years, I hit over 300. In my last 5 years, when I'm old and slow, I hit over 310.
Huh.
So I knew that good information works. And then if I can get that good information to the high school players, that they could improve faster and move up the chain a lot faster.
So why the progression? I mean, why like this?
Why did I get better?
Yeah.
I got better because I threw out bad information and brought in good information. And, things on, my approach at the plate, my techniques at the plate. I can look back over my 16 years and there was, 3 or 4 guys that they weren't even long conversations. They just gave me the right information that I could implement and made me a better hitter and a better player.
So what you said to fix via technology, using technology, you used to get during conversations. I mean,
there was no technology. We were trying to use the old VCRs and try to sync them up, and with 2 dials trying to move them back and forth. And at 30 frames per second, you're not getting all the information that you need. And when you put George Brett next to me, we look pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
So what's good, what's bad? And so in my last 8 years, when I started to bring in good information, what I started doing with one of my coaches, a guy Milt May, who also played in the major leagues for a very long time, we started gathering photographs or sequence shots of all the best hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we take those sequence shots and we put them in these manila envelopes, and then we'd compare Mickey Mantle versus Ryan Sandberg and, Stan Musial and all these things. And we started to see similarities at different positions and movements in the swing.
Mm.
Look, they all do this. Here's 10 Hall of Famers. And we're looking at these things and we started to work on that, which made me a better player. But it's still, we're looking at still photographs. So you can't see what happened before or what happened after. So now I moved to California. I'm now coaching high school. I've got this information, but the kids still can't see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it, but they can't see it. And so it was hard communicating with them. And we had a lot of bad information out there. There was millions of DVDs that were sold that had bad information or information that's 30 years old.
Right.
Things that, the coaches learned 30 years ago when they were playing Little League or high school, right? And so I went to the Players Association and I said, listen, we got some really bad information out here. I need to get video of the very best players, at high speed, at exact angles, so I can prove our points. And so that kids can say, oh yeah, this is what we should do. And this is what I'm doing. And, they agreed. I'm going, I don't have a company at this point. I just have an idea. I just want the video out there so players can look at it. And, so they flew out and they met with me and they said, yes, we want to do this. We want to promote baseball because at that time, 80% of the kids were quitting at the age of 13.
Huh.
When you can't succeed at one of the skills in baseball, you quit.
Right.
And so the only ones that were moving ahead or stepping in were players that had the skills to maintain or go to the next level. It's like, like you would have to get an A in first grade to go.
It's like me in golf.
To go to second grade.
It's like me in golf. I quit after the second hole.
So basically what I told them is said, no, we want these players to keep playing. And so we have to teach them the fundamental motor skills and things that they need to go to second grade and third grade and fourth grade, or to move up the chain and try to keep the players playing longer.
Right.
And, so they agreed, we got to get this video out. And, but about a month after that, they called and said, well, there's this technology company down that works with golf and video analysis in golf had been going on for 20 years. Just baseball, it's kind of old and traditional. In 2000, I approached them with the idea and the concept. They liked the idea and the concept. And so I met this, Players Associations and get us video from the Home Run Derby in Las Vegas, and be able to film from 4 different angles at high speed from all these angles. And then when this technology came in, it says, golfers have been doing this for years, comparing themselves next to, Tiger Woods and the great players. Actually, it was Freddie Couples back then, but he was the number 1 player in the world. But so I started going through this. And so in 2001, we kind of combined the two. I got a license with the Players Association. We created a product. Now I needed the video, more video. Now I need it in real live games. So I think it was 2004 was the first time I was allowed to go to the All-Star game, set up 8 cameras. So I get all the hitters and the pitchers from 4 different angles. So no matter what angle dad got of the player, we can compare against the best pitchers and hitters in the game. So we did that. We had pretty much instant success. In both baseball and softball. Softball came in 2003. They won the next 12 national championships, or the clients that were using the software won the next 12 national championships. And over the next 14 years, we had 7 World Series winners. We had division champions. We had, in fact, my team in 2006, I went to coach with the Detroit Tigers, and I brought the technology in there. And Detroit at the time had 13 losing seasons in a row. They hadn't had a 500 season yet.
Wow.
Right. And we went to the World Series. That's the ring I got. Right.
Wow.
But we lost. But so I was not I was not one of the 7 that won. But it was interesting that, we have over 20 national championships in Division I baseball and softball. And, of course, all the success with the major league and minor league teams.